Yo, what's going on guys, Dylbobz here, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we have another look at more gameplay of Blade in Marvel Rivals. We recently got to look at some of Blade's leaked abilities and the gameplay of that, and now Rivals Info has released even more gameplay that shows us more of the abilities and his ultimate ability. So what we're going to do is break down the gameplay and take a look at Blade's abilities. So starting off in the new video posted by Rivals Info, we can see his block ability. This is leaked to be his right click, and before we get into it, I just want to mention that this is early footage of Blade. He will be releasing on August 8th in Season 3.5, and there is a chance the devs have completely changed his kit. Most likely, though, things will be pretty similar, but they could tweak the values, so everything's not set in stone. But regardless, it gives us some idea of what Blade is planned to be. So his right click is the damage block. He uses Dracula's sword to create this damage block stance, and you can see at the moment it lasts for 3 seconds. As I said, this could change over time, but this should block damage coming in front of you, or at least resist damage, give you some kind of damage reduction. And you can see when he uses this, he can still move at what seems to be full speed. Like, you can move around as much as you like. And also it creates this red kind of effect around you. And I believe that's where the damage will be reduced. So any fire coming from the front of you will give you reduced damage, but people can still shoot you from the back. So you can just protect yourself from the front. It seems like a pretty good versatile ability. And from what we've seen, Blade is going to be this kind of brawler DPS. And giving him this kind of survivability is definitely important for his kit, as he primarily uses his sword. Now, next up in this gameplay, we can see him activate his blood liberation again. We get another look at this ability. We saw it in the previous gameplay, but this time it seems that when you have this active, you can see kind of a red kind of version of him kind of following behind you. It's pretty cool effect. I don't know if this will be final. There's a chance they just used this and it's kind of the same code as Hawkeye's Ultamnat, but they just used it temporarily to show a cool effect. But either way, it looks really cool. Now, this ability does seem to show enemies through walls by the looks of it, and also activates his vampire blood, the Dracula health bar, which essentially means that you can't receive any healing from your teammates. However, you gain lifesteal, so all damage that you do will heal back your health, which is a pretty cool mechanic that he has. But what we're excited to see now is the Ultimate. And Rivals Info shows it right here. When you pop the Ultimate, you get this big charge meter. As you can see, it's early progress. I'm sure it will have an even better visual than this. But for a short period of time, you can charge up this slash, and it will create an area in front of you that you are going to dash to. You can see this big rectangle, and this is the entire area that the damage will cover. So you can charge in a straight line, and once you dash, you can see it leaves behind these crazy slashes as the Dracula sword slashes the enemies. So for a period of time after you charge up, and I don't know if charging up, the longer that you hold down the ability, the longer that it goes. I don't know if that's the case. It might be, it might not be, but you can see you can charge it up for a few seconds. But once you release it, for the next 3 or 4 seconds, it will continue to slash all the enemies in that area. And it does a lot of damage. You can see how quickly the Punisher and Lunar Snow both die. They literally get wiped from the game. So if you do not move out of this area, you are going to get punished for it. And even the Thing, who's in it the entire time, goes to about 1/4 of his health. It looks like he's got about 200 health left. So it seems it does about 500 damage to anybody that's in it. So what do I think of this ultimate? I think it is honestly really good. When you pair it with all of his abilities, I think Blade is going to be a very good brawler. It seems like he has quite a lot to help his survivability, and also a lot of good damage dealing abilities when he's up close to the enemies. And that ultimate honestly seems really good. It seems really good to engage a choke point. It will push all the enemies out of it, dealing crazy amounts of damage. It seems like it can be comboed really well. Like with a Groot ult, you can then just pop this down and everybody inside it will be taking crazy amounts of damage. So a very, very awesome ultimate. We also see here a bit more gameplay of his primary attacks. You can see his sword slash, and then we can see him swap to his hunting shotgun. I don't know if we saw this animation in the last video, but when he swaps to the shotgun, you can see he pulls it out and spins it around, which is pretty cool. And then we get a body shot. The body shot with these shotguns seems to do just around 50 damage. Once again, we can't really see what the max range of this is. Unfortunately, they don't really show us. So now you've seen the ultimate ability, the block ability. For those of you who didn't watch the last video, I'll cover the other abilities here for you now. So his primary attack seems to be a 4-slash combo with his sword. You can see his main weapon is his sword that he runs around with, and you can attack people. It does around 45 damage, but if you hold down melee, it will do 1 slash followed by 2 quick slashes followed by a 4th and final slash. So that is his kind of combo that he does. And then for his secondary weapon, as we saw earlier, he pulls out his hunting shotgun. And this one does about 85 damage to the head. We saw it did about 50 damage to the body. And it's supposed to be a pretty long range shotgun. And it may have the effect that the pellets explode after a certain distance. So it's kind of one fine shot until a certain range where it explodes. A little bit like Roadhog from Overwatch. He seems to have 300 health. He is a duelist at the moment. Obviously, people commented in my last video, they want him to be a Vanguard, and I guess there's a chance he does, but based on this entire kit, he's a duelist. He is most certainly a duelist, but if people really want a Vanguard, maybe they rework his kit entirely by the time he releases, but I highly doubt that. And next we have his shift ability, the Step and Chop. And this one changes depending on what weapon you have out. So if you have the hunting shotgun out, it barges the enemy, dealing a little bit of damage and pushing them back. And then you shoot them with a giant explosive burst of your shotgun to deal more damage. And then this will also apparently apply anti-healing to the enemy. I think this essentially just reduces the healing they receive. I don't think it completely stops them from being healed. I might be wrong. But also, if you have your sword out and use his shift ability, then you will do this awesome kind of sword twirl. It first knocks the enemy back, and then if you continuously hit them, it will deal even more damage. So you can see he has a lot of damage capability when it comes to his abilities, but also so much survivability with the blood liberation and the Dracula blood health that can be restored by dealing damage, alongside the new sword block we saw in today's footage, and then his high damage dealing ultimate ability. You can really focus and destroy people in the backline with Blade. Honestly, I think he looks pretty cool. I personally don't mind that we're getting 2 duelists in one go, but it is what it is. So there you go. That is the gameplay of Blade that we have right now. It's been pretty exciting seeing this footage early. And if you are watching still at the end of the video, I'm going to do a giveaway for you guys because I appreciate you for watching through the entire video. So if you did make it this far, I will be giving away a skin of your choice. All you have to do is comment down below. If you could subscribe, that's even better. But commenting on this video will enter you into the giveaway.